What is good, BookTube? It's Monty. It's Friday. It's late, but we're doing the Friday reads anyway because I actually read a lot of different things today, and so it makes sense to come and talk to you about them. I don't know for February if I'll do daily reading updates because I will be doing the BookTube games. That seems like a little excessive, so we're just gonna play it by ear. But I did not want to break my Friday read streak, so I read two books today. Well, a book and a graphic novel that I wouldn't even call a graphic novel because it's only 4 issues of a comic book. So, I mean, it was over 100 pages, but let's just get into it. So, I completed The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. At some point, I will discuss my opinions of this book. I don't think I will give this a star rating on Goodreads. I put one in for the spreadsheet that I'm using to track my reading this year, but I don't think I'm going to put one on Goodreads because it's really hard for me to rate the poetry that I've been reading lately, and this is no exception. But there are also elements of the story that I had an issue with. They're very nitpicky. They are very nitpicky and very minor to the overall story, but they did really bother me, and I don't know if it's fair for me to downgrade on Goodreads my star rating. Because I did like it, but I'm just conflicted. So I'm not gonna, when I finally do sit down to write my review, I will not be giving it a rating. Um, but I do think people should read it. Like, I understand why people like this book. Like, it's just a video is coming about my feelings. And then the second thing that I completed was, like I said, a graphic novel. It was the first volume of Fence by C.S. Pacat or Packet. I don't really know. I'm sorry. I should have Googled. But finished this. I've seen a couple of people talk about this, and it was cute, but I think my expectations were just higher. I really did like the art, though. The art. Let's not do the shower scene. The art was like really nice and like colorful, and I was vibing with the art. But the overall story left a lot to be desired, if I'm being honest. Like, it was very that. So I finished that. That made me happy. Then I started reading Loving v. Virginia by Shannon Powell, I want to say. It's in the car, so I'm not going to run out and grab it. So here's the picture. The author's name will be displayed properly. But that one I don't know if I'm actually going to finish. I might DNF it because there's not as much illustrations as I thought there were, and that was the only reason I picked it up, was to support the illustrator, because it's also told in like a modern poetry verse, but I don't appreciate the poetry here because it doesn't read anything like poetry. Like, and to be fair, I've only read very little modern poetry, so I have The Poet X and then The Princess Saves Herself from this one, which I'll get into in my January wrap up. But I appreciated the poetry there. The poetry in Loving v. Virginia just feels like a very lazily done. It just feels very lazy, and I don't appreciate it. And so I feel like I could just watch a movie about these people and get the same out of it. So I might DNF that one, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Then I picked up Rick Remender's Deadly Class Book 1, Noise, Noise, Noise. I think that was 3. I don't know. There'll be a picture here. I've wanted to watch the sci-fi adaptation. I didn't want to do it until I read it, and I'm not actually liking this. I picked it up on Hoopla because, excuse me, my library doesn't have the bind up collect. Like, it just has like the volumes. So it's okay so far. The art is terrible. I fucking hate the art, and the story itself was off to a really slow start, and it was also just very convoluted. I thought. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. And then the last thing that I will be reading this weekend is my first reread in actually a really long time. And it's not Children of Blood and Bone, like I discussed in my Blackathon TBR, but it is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I got my Valentine buddy read person, and this book was on their TBR. It was the only book on their TBR that I had checked out, and I'm a lazy person, and I did not want to try to find another book on hold I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. Like, you want to read it? You seem really excited to read this book. I'll reread this. So, I've been a terrible buddy read partner. This is a spoiler. We were meant to read the first 112 pages today, and the day is not over. It's about to be 7 o'clock as I'm filming this. So I have 5 hours before I'm terrible, but I have not read the first 112 pages. So that's what I'll be doing later after I quickly edit this. So yeah, The Wicked King. I'll be reading 112 pages of that tonight. I don't know what I'm going to pick up next because I don't think Deadly Class is like on the back burner, and I don't think I'm going to continue on with Loving. So I don't know, but something from these 2 rows of books will get picked up next, and you'll know about it when you know about it. But until then, bye.